Now, this is the girl I jotted down last night, and she's no use. I've got all the records I want of the Listen Grove lingo, and I don't plan to waste another cylinder on it. Be off with you. I don't want you.
Oh, don't you be so saucy. You ain't heard what I come for yet. Did you tell him I come in a taxi?
Nonsense, girl. What do you think a gentleman like Mr. Higgins cares what you came in?
Oh, we are proud. Well, he ain't above giving lessons, not am I say so. Well, I didn't come here to ask for any compliment, and if my money's not good enough, I can go elsewhere.
Good enough for what?
Good enough for you. Now you know, don't you? I've come to have lessons I have to pay for them too, make no mistake.
Well, and what do you expect me to say?
If you was a gentleman, you might ask me to sit down, I think. Then I'll tell you I'm bringing your business.
Pickering, shall we ask this baggage to sit down, or shall we throw her out of the window?
Ow! It won't be called a baggage when I've offered to pay like any lady.
What is it that you want, my dear?
I want to be a lady in a flower shop instead of selling flowers at the corner of Tottenham Court Road. Only they won't take me unless I can talk more genteel. He said he could teach me. Well, here I am, ready to pay, not asking any favor, and he treats me as if I were debt. I know what lessons cost, and I'm ready to pay.
How much?
Now you're talking. I thought you'd come off it when you saw a chance of getting back a bit of what you chucked at me last night. You had a drop in, hadn't you?
Sit down.
Oh, if you're going to make a compliment out of it.
Sit down.
What is your name, my dear?
Eliza Doolittle.
Would you please sit down, Miss Doolittle?
Oh, don't mind if I do.
How much do you propose to pay me for these lessons?
I know what's right. A lady friend of mine gets French lessons for 18 pence an hour from a real French gentleman. Well, you wouldn't have the face to ask me the same for teaching me my own language as you would for French, so I won't give more than a shilling. Take it or leave it.
You know, Pickering, if we consider a shilling not as a simple shilling, but as a percentage of this girl's income, it works out to fully equivalent of 60 or 70 pounds from a millionaire. By George, it's the biggest offer I ever had.
60 pounds? I never offered you 60 pounds. Where am I going to get 60 pounds?
Hold your tongue.
But I ain't got 60 pounds.
Don't cry, silly girl. Sit down. No one is going to touch your money.
Somebody's going to touch you with a broomstick. They don't stop sniveling. Now sit down.
Ow. Somebody would think you was my father.
If I decide to teach you, I shall be worse than 2 fathers to you. Here.
What's that for?
To wipe your eyes. To wipe any part of your face that feels moist. Remember, that is your handkerchief and that's your sleeve. And don't mistake the one for the other if you wish to become a lady in a shop.
Higgins, I'm interested. Remember your boast that you could make her Duchess at the embassy ball? Why, I'd say you were the greatest teacher alive if you can make that one good. I'll bet you all the expenses of the experiment that you can't do it. And I'll even throw in the cost of the lessons.
Oh, you'll feel good, Captain.
You know, it's almost irresistible. She's so deliciously low. So horribly dirty.
I ain't dirty. I washed my face and hands before I come, I did.
I'll take it. I'll make a duchess of this draggle-tailed gutter snipe. Ow! We'll start today. Now, this moment. Mrs. Pierce, take her away and clean her sandpaper if it won't come off any other way. Is there a good fire in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Take all her clothes off and burn them. I'll ring up and order some new ones. Wrap her up in, I don't know, brown paper until they come.
You're no gentleman, you ain't to talk of such things. I'm a good girl, I am, and I know what the likes of you are,
Well, none of your slum prudery here, my good woman. You've got to learn to behave like a duchess. Take her away, Mrs. Pierce, and if she gives you any trouble, wallop her.
I'll call the police, I will!
But I've no place to put her.
Put her in the dustbin.
Ow!
Higgins, be reasonable.
You must be reasonable, Mr. Higgins. Really, you must. You can't just walk all over people like that.
I? Walk all over people? My dear Mrs. Pierce, my dear Pickering, I never had the slightest intention of walking over anybody. All I propose is that we should be kind to this poor girl. If I did not express myself clearly, it was because I did not wish to hurt her delicacy. Or yours.
But, sir, you can't take a girl like this up as if picking up a pebble on the beach.
Why not?
Why not? You don't know anything about her. What about her parents? She may be married.
God!
There, as the girl very properly says, God.
Wanna marry me?
By George, Eliza, the streets will be strewn with the bodies of men shooting themselves for your sake before I've done with you.
I'm going away. He's off his chump, he is. I don't want no ballies teaching me.
Oh, indeed, I'm mad, am I? Very well, Mrs. Pierce, you needn't order the new clothes for her. Throw her out!
Stop. Mr. Higgins, I won't allow it. Go home to your parents, girl.
I ain't got no power.
There you are, she ain't got no parents. What's all the fuss about? The girl doesn't belong to anybody. She's no use to anybody but me. So take her upstairs, Mrs. Pierce, and throw her into a big, fat, hot
But, sir,
bath.
what's to happen to her? She's to be paid anything? Oh, you must be reasonable, sir.
What's to do with money? She'll have her clothes and her food. She'll only drink if you give her money.
You are a brute. It's a lie. Nobody ever saw the sign of liquor on me. Oh, sir, you're a gentleman. Don't let him speak to me like that.
Well, Higgins, does it occur to you that the girl does have some feelings?
No, I don't think so. No feelings we need bother about, have you, Eliza?
Mr. Higgins, I must know on what terms the girl is to be here. What's to become of her when you've finished your teaching? You must look ahead a little.
What's to become of her if we leave her in the gutter, Mrs. Pierce? Answer me that.
That's her own business, not yours.
Well, when I've done with her, we can throw her back into the gutter, and then it'll be her own business again, so that's all right.
You ain't got no heart in you, you ain't. You don't care for nothing but yourself. Here, all that enough of this. I'm going.
Eliza? Have some chocolates.
How do I know what might be in them? I bet a girl's being drugged by the like of you.
Pledge of good faith, Eliza. I'll eat one half, and you eat the other. You'll have boxes of them. Barrels of them every day. You shall live on them, eh?
I wouldn't invite it. I'm too ladylike to take it out of my mouth.
Think of it, Eliza. Chocolates and taxis and gold and diamonds.
No, I don't want no gold, no diamonds. I'm a good girl, I am.
Higgins, I must interfere. Mrs. Pierce is right. If she is to place herself in your hands for a 6-month experiment in teaching, then she must understand thoroughly what she's doing.
Eliza, you are to stay here for 6 months, learning to speak beautifully, like a lady in a florist's shop. If you are good and do whatever you're told, you shall sleep in a proper bedroom and have lots to eat and money to buy chocolates and take rides and taxis. If you're naughty and idle, you shall sleep in the back kitchen amongst the black beetles and be walloped by Mrs. Pierce with a broomstick. At the end of 6 months, you shall go to Buckingham Palace in a carriage beautifully dressed. If the king finds out you're not a lady, you shall be taken by the police to the Tower of London, where your head will be cut off as a warning to other presumptuous flower girls. If you're not found out, you shall be given a present of 7 and 6 to start life with as a lady in the shop. If you refuse this offer, you'll be the most ungrateful, wicked girl, and the angels will weep for you. Now you're satisfied, Pickering?
I don't understand a word you're talking about.
Could I put it more plainly or